What is up, YouTube? Jericho426 here, bringing you kind of an impromptu video. Man, you know what? I was opening up Marvel Contest of Champions today, and we have the ability breakdown for Stryfe. Oh my good gravy, am I excited for this champion. I don't know if I have been as excited about a character since Apocalypse came out. Now, I was excited about Apocalypse because I just love Apocalypse. He's my favorite villain in all of X-Men, and maybe right on to, like, you know, MCU Thanos, my favorite villain of all time from Marvel. I was super excited about Apocalypse. I haven't gotten him yet, okay? Spoiler alert, but I'm waiting for the 5-star featured crystal to roll over to the new set so I can, we've got a bunch of shards waiting to pull in order to try to get this 5-star Thanos, or this 5-star Apocalypse, I should say. But guys, Stryfe, breakdown for Stryfe. I want to go through this stuff because, man, he looks like an awesome character, and he is going to be such a good counter to so many champions in the game. So let's get into this right now. Let's talk about Stryfe. Let me just show you what it looks like. First of all, some kind of like a souped out metal Batman. Now, I don't know as much about Stryfe. I know that he is, you know, like, connected with the X-Men and connected with Apocalypse, and he's Infant Nathan Summers. I get all that. I know all that, but I don't know as much about him as just that he looks really cool. But beyond looking really cool, let's look at what he is just going to have going on. So his strength. He's got high damage potential. By storing persistent telepathic charges throughout quests, Stryfe can ramp up his damage to rival other high-damaging champions, like Star-Lord and Aegon and others. Okay, so great. So he's going to be a questing champion. He's going to be great to go through multiple nodes and get all the way through long quests. He'll be really great by the end of that. Very similar to Aegon. Very cool. But we've got a few of those. But we want to know, is he a champion that we can take to any fight, or is he just, you know, we got to play the long game? Survivability. Okay, so Stryfe's telepathic charges will cause incoming attacks to glance. I don't know about you guys, but I hate fighting Ant-Man. He is so simple. He's one of the earliest characters in the game. He is so simple, but that glancing ability makes the fights with him drag on forever. Forever. I cannot stand fighting Ant-Man. Not because it's hard, just because it takes so long. But this is going to be great for us if you are really bad at gameplay, kind of like I am. Then that glancing ability will help you out. So whenever, let's see what we got here. So when you have glancing going on, you're dealing a lot less damage. Additionally, if Stryfe's signature ability is unlocked, glancing attacks can trigger his invisibility. Invisible, probably just as annoying as Invisible Woman, or maybe Hood in some cases, giving him a great window to recover from his opponent's combo. Now, this means he's going to be great for attack. He's also going to be great for defense. He's going to be a really annoying champion to fight against. He's going to be an annoying defender. And he might be a new high-level champion to have in Alliance War as a defender. We're going to see. Maybe attack as well. This is what I was super excited about. Blocking unblockable attacks. Playing through this past side quest and even the John Mulaney kind of event with all the unblockable going on. I was sitting here going, oh my gosh, I need somebody who can block unblockable attacks. How can we do that? It sounds like it is an oxymoron. It doesn't sound like it is one. But what do we got here? So while Stryfe has a concussion on the opponent, he is able to block unblockable attacks. Guys, it's like music to my ears. That's exactly what I'm hoping for out of a champion. That's exactly what I was looking for. I think it's going to be great. We'll just have to see how easy it is to put a concussion on the defenders. Stun unstoppable opponents. For the cost of 2 telepathic charges, and I know that you can get up to 20 telepathic charges to start with, and then you can build up to 100. So for the cost of 2 telepathic charges, Stryfe can strike an unstoppable opponent, removing their unstoppable effect. Unstoppable effect, not effect. Whatever I just said. And inflicting a stun. Okay, so I haven't covered this yet on the channel, but one of the best champions to stop unstoppable champions, stop unstoppable champions to stop unstoppable champions. Say that 5 times fast. One of the best ones is She-Hulk. I love She-Hulk. She is one of my 2 bays. The other one being Guillotine 2099. But the fact that he can just a single strike will remove unstoppable and stun them. He's going to eat Thing like breakfast. He's going to eat Juggernaut like he's Cheerios. All right, this is just going to be fantastic for some of these much more difficult fights. Even when you combine Unstoppable and Unblockable, when you got Korg on some nodes, oh my goodness, he is going to be the anti-Korg. And you're actually about to see he's going to be even more anti-Korg here when we get further along. Okay, so weaknesses. Power Lock, Burn, Drain. While suffering from any of these effects, Stryfe cannot build his Telepathic Charges. Important, he might not be as good against Guillotine 2099. So we will see. Opponent Power Gain. Stryfe is unable to use his Telepathic Cloak invisibility while the opponent has more than 1 full bar of health, of power, I should say. Anywhere special attacks cannot be baited or where the opponent is gaining a lot of power will make it difficult to ramp his charges. So he's going to have a little bit of difficulty with some of this, but that's okay. We can make it through that. Vigilance and Anti-Miss. Opponents who are able to bypass miss will counter Stryfe's cloak and make it hard to ramp up charges quickly. All right? Good. We need it. We need a well-balanced character. We need to have ways in order that he can be defeated. Shock immune or energy resistance. So Stryfe gets a nice chunk of his damage through his shock and his basic energy attacks. Anywhere where the opponent is immune or has resistance to energy damage will significantly reduce his damage output. Now, this brings to mind one specific character that we do not want to take Stryfe against, and that is Captain Marvel movie. Again, you guys have already started to see my videos for featured champions and the best ones to defeat them. I have a Captain Marvel movie one coming up. Stryfe is not going to be a good attacker to take into a battle against Captain Marvel movie because any of those energy charges, she'll gain her charges towards that towards her big passive ability. So, all right. So abilities. Let's break these down. Psionic blasts. Psionic blasts occur on medium, heavy, and special 2 attacks. These deal energy damage instead of physical resistance and cannot be evaded. So he's going to be good against some of the Spider-Man characters. Miles Morales and Gwen are super annoying to fight, as is that random evade that either Domino or Ultron will have. So it's going to be good for those if you're using the correct attacks and the correct combos. But that's also good for someone like Korg, again, because you can just not physically attack him, and therefore you're not going to take any of that kind of rebound damage off of him. And you're going to reduce the potency. Here's the other point about Korg. You're going to reduce the potency of incoming passive direct damage by 100%. He's an anti-Korg machine, guys. Anti-Korg machine. Now, we don't run into Korg, at least I don't run into Korg a whole lot, but he is still super annoying to fight when you do run into him. So that's awesome. That's fantastic. All right, Telepathic Charges. He has a max of 20. Telepathic Charges are unaffected by ability accuracy reduction, but cannot be gained while suffering Power Lock, Burn, or Drain. So again, we're just going to have to remember, stay away from any of those champions. And there are quite a few champions who have those Power Lock, Burn, and Drain abilities. I can think, man, he's not going to be good against Dr. Octopus probably at all, at least as far as gaining those Telepathic Charges. All attacks gain 69.72 attack rating per Telepathic Charge. Holy cow! This guy's damage is going to ramp insanely high. Guys, this might be one of the highest damaging, kind of just from basic attacks, characters in the game. This is going to be nuts. 55% chance to gain 1 Telepathic Charge when landing a heavy attack chance increased by a flat 15% for each full bar of power. Okay, so this is telling us how we're getting the Telepathic Charges. We're going to gain Telepathic Charges when struck by a critical hit. So if you're really good at blocking everything, it might not be such a big deal. But there you go. You have another way to gain if you're taking the beating, like I often do sometimes. All right, so you're going to gain 1 Telepathic Charge for each time Stryfe or his opponent misses. Again, we don't know how his invisibility is going to work quite yet, but we can see that, hey, we're going to be able to gain those Telepathic Charges with those misses. All right, when struck at 5+ Telepathic Charges, Consume 5 charges to cause the attack to glance. Here we go with that glancing ability again. Glancing hits cannot be critical. Good for us. Deal 50% reduced damage. Really good for us. And suffer negative 100% offensive ability accuracy. Again, really good for us. Striking an opponent or into their block while they are unstoppable consumes 2 telepathic charges to remove the effect and inflict a passive stun for 1.2 seconds, cooldown of 8 seconds. Okay, so we can't use this over and over. But again, as long as Juggernaut doesn't build up his special too fast, we're going to be able to use this quite effectively. Okay, here we go. Here's what we were looking for earlier with the concussion. On the 4th light attack, so this is going to be super easy to use. Consume 1 telepathic charge to inflict a passive concussion for 12 seconds, reducing the opponent's ability accuracy by 20%. While the opponent is suffering from concussion, Stryfe can block unblockable attacks. I mean, is anyone else getting the willies from this? I mean, great googly moogly. Is that fantastic? Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. Heavy attacks. Deal a burst of 581 energy damage, 500 plus potential. Potency if invisible. Hey, so we get an increase in attack damage from heavy attacks if we're invisible. We're also going to gain 3 telepathic charges if invisible. Boy, I cannot talk now. I'm too excited, guys. I'm too excited. All right. Special number 1, Telepathic Camouflage. The second hit in this attack inflicts a non-stacking passive shock. Okay, so we got some shock going on here. 2440.2 energy damage over 8 seconds. This shock is removed and reapplied on each psionic blast. Okay, so we can reapply it over and over. After this attack, Stryfe activates a telepathic cloak to go invisible for 3 seconds. That's how we get our invisible, giving the opponent a 100% chance to miss. 100%, really good. That's even better, I believe, than the hoods, so that's really cool. This will not trigger when fighting an opponent with #psychic shielding. If Stryfe lands an attack, blocks an attack, or the opponent activates a special, his position is revealed and invisibility is removed. Let's read that one more time. If Stryfe lands an attack, blocks an attack, or the opponent activates a special. Okay, so he does not have the insane invisibility of the hood. So the hood, once he goes invisible, he can still attack, he can still block, he can do everything normally, he's just invisible, and there's a greater % chance of missing. In this case, this is kind of almost like a combo shield, I would say. If when you hit, if you block, or if the opponent activates a special, then it's gone. But if you miss or something like that, it's going to protect you. It looks like the only thing you can do is you could probably evade once, you can dex, and then come back in and strike. You're going to lose that invisibility, but hey. But this is going to be even better if you can, let's say, go invisible, evade, and then heavy attack if you have the opportunity. All right, special number 2. The first hit and final 2 hits of this attack are psionic blasts, each dealing a burst of 697.2 energy damage plus an 80% potency if the opponent is shocked. So we want to shock them before we go into special 2. Psionic blasts gain plus 139.44 attack rating per telepathic charge. So again, it looks like this is going to be one of his big damage dealers here. So we're going to want to shock the opponent and then have as many telepathic charges. So by the time you get to an end of the quest, this guy is just going to be doing insane damage in the questing. And so this might be kind of one of your boss killers that you're going to go for. Special 3. Now this is actually a pretty important special here. So you're going to gain plus 5 persistent telepathic charges. So you're going to gain 5. These last for the rest of the quest, but are capped at 100. So you can actually go over that max of 20, but they're going to go into the rest of the quest. So this is how you're going to build him over time. So it looks like if you want to have kind of that Aegon style fighting where you're going forward with your telepathic charges, you're going to want to use a special 3, maybe to finish off, kind of like you would Guillotine 2099, or maybe just at any point. We'll see how that works out. You're going to consume all telepathic charges with your special 3, each becoming 1 additional persistent telepathic charge. Okay, so we're going to convert all. So we might want to go for that special 3 a little bit early. We'll see how the rotation works out. Persistent telepathic charges cannot be consumed to trigger abilities, but still grant attack rating bonuses. So there's going to be a difference between the persistent ones and the active ones that we already have. Again, very much like Aegon. If the opponent is shocked, inflict a passive concussion for 30 seconds reducing the opponent's ability accuracy by 30%. So again, we want to keep a shock debuff on the opponent for almost any of our special 2s or special 3s whenever we use them. Signature abilities. So his signature ability is called Substantial Psionic Power. When gaining telepathic charges from any source other than his ability, Stryfe has a 20.01% chance to gain 1 additional charge. So that's good. We can build up our charges faster. Whenever the opponent glances a basic attack, Stryfe has a 40% chance to activate his special 1 invisibility for 3 seconds. That's interesting. Okay. Winning a fight converts 70% of telepathic charges into persistent telepathic charges. So his signature ability, it doesn't look like, based on the reading here, that you have to have his signature ability awake. Like, you don't have to have Stryfe awakened in order to, like, for him to be a beast. But at the same time, if you do have it, he's going to be beyond God here. He is going to be a super beast. He's going to be able to ramp up and convert those charges faster. And the fact is, if you get into a tight spot to where you're having to glance because you're getting attacked, and you're not blocking, you missed your parry or whatever, maybe the game, I don't know, glitches and, you just miss, even though it wasn't your fault, but the game does it for you. Has that ever happened to you? Because it's yeah. Anyway, but if you do, then that invisibility is going to kick in as well. Very cool. Now, synergy bonuses. Before we go up to the top, I want to go down here. So this is going to be really crazy. And actually, let's pull it back up. We're going to look at Cable 2. So one of the reasons I'm so excited to get Apocalypse is because, not only because Apocalypse is really awesome in the game, because he has so many great synergies for so many mutants that I have, right? Some of the mutants that are just meh, kind of like Storm or Cable, suddenly become really, really good in the game when you have Apocalypse on the team. And it looks like Stryfe is just going to be crazy. He's going to be, if you're playing Call of Duty right now, he's going to be the DMR of MCoC. So I'm really hoping that I can pull him on the early crystals. So here we go. Synergy with Apocalypse. Big Bad Dad, which if you don't know, Apocalypse is kind of his dad. So Stryfe, the final hit of Special Attack 2 pauses all shock effects on the opponent for 4 seconds. If this champion is a Horseman of Apocalypse, become passively unblockable as long as 20 telepathic charges are active. Oh my good gravy. You're talking about when you have just 20 of these. And by the way, if you have that signature ability, you're going to get up there pretty fast. You're going to become passively unblockable. First of all, in any nodes where he's just already got 20, which hopefully they won't do that, but I'm sure they will, this is going to be ridiculous. That's insane. You could go whole fights and potentially just have passively unblockable attacks. Ah! Really? Oh, I'm so excited. This is awesome. Now, Apocalypse, let's see what's going on here with him too, because hey, he's already awesome. Activating special 1 attack, or let me try that again. Activating special attack 1 or 2 increases the potency of personal burst damage by 25%. This can stack up to 300% max. Guys, Apocalypse already does a ton of damage. Now they're just like, hey, let's give him more. Why not? Great Googla-moogla. Really, guys, come on. He's going to be awesome. This is going to be maybe next to like Cosmic Ghost Rider and Apocalypse from this past year, one of the most sought-after champions. I can't even imagine what the featured 5-star arena is going to go for. I mean, at the very least, it's got to be 80 million. I mean, probably more than that. But let's also, real quick, let's look at Cable, too, with a synergy. Because, again, I love Cable. He's always been one of my favorite characters in whether it's Deadpool movies or whether it's just, the cartoon. I love Cable all over. And he was a little bit lackluster in this game. He was actually my very first 3-star that I ever pulled. I was so excited to pull Cable. Little did I know back then. Okay, so cloned at birth with Cable. Synergy with Cable. Stryfe, start the fight with +5 telepathic charges. Hey, pretty good. We like that. Cable. While the opponent is suffering from a degeneration effect, which, by the way, that means if you have Cable... we'll get to it. While the opponent is suffering from a degeneration effect, special attacks grant 50% less power in the opponent. Okay, so it doesn't overly power him, but it will make the people fighting him a lot less effective. And when you stack this with what synergy Apocalypse already has going on, very, very cool. We're really excited. All right, let's look at the rest of the synergies here. Miss Me with Ebony Maw. Okay, I'm excited about this, guys, because I'm actually going to have a video coming up about that's going to feature a little bit of Ebony Maw later on. I hate that Ebony's so passed over. He's just so weak with his attack damage. But he actually has some very small niche utility that we'll talk about later on in a later video. But I want to see what this is about. So Stryfe, once per fight, after being struck by a basic attack, the opponent is inflicted with a passive falter for 3 seconds, giving them a 100% chance to miss. Okay, so if you got Ebony Maw, and again, with all the other stuff going on with Stryfe, you're not going to be able to hit this dude, man. It's going to be crazy. Now, Ebony Maw. While the opponent is suffering Black Tongue, they are inflicted with a 3-second falter debuff every 13 seconds. Okay, additionally, the opponent is faltered. Additionally, while the opponent is faltered, gain 40% attack rating. Okay, finally, we have something to boost Ebony Maw's attack. That's what he really needs. He needs to be boosted. Just his basic... You can honestly, in my opinion, leave Ebony Maw the way he is. Just boost his attack rating. Just boost it up there, and we'll be better. All right. Full targets with Guillotine, Thor, and Hood. Interesting. Stryfe. Start the fight with invisibility active. That's pretty cool. Very similar to the Ghost synergy with Hood. Hood, gain plus 50% attack rating while invisible. That's not too bad either. Guillotine. Now, this is not Guillotine 2099. This is just original Guillotine. OG Guillotine. Guillotine. Souls last 30% longer and are paused during either champion special attacks. That's kind of cool. All right. And Thor. Activating a special attack grants plus 3 fury buffs, each granting 10% attack rating for 6 seconds. That's actually pretty good. That's going to ramp up his damage pretty good. I think all the original Avengers in MCoC really do need a buff, and this is a pretty good way to go about buffing them. It's an interesting route to go with synergies to buff champions instead of just buffing them outright. I know that they've kind of been focusing on that a lot lately. All right, and so then we have enemies increasing attack rating, family with Cyclops, recommended masteries, Glass Cannon, Block Proficiency, and Perfect Block, and Assassin. All right, guys. Wow, this turned out to be a lot longer than I thought it was going to. I thought it was just being a really quick video, but I got to tell you guys, super excited about Stryfe. I really just can't say how much I'm excited about him. Really excited to try to get our featured champion crystal going as soon as it switches over this week and get Apocalypse. And if I get the Apocalypse and then I get the Stryfe, oh, I'm just going to freak out, guys. You're just going to see me, my head's just going to, it's just going to explode. But hey, guys, hope you enjoyed the content. Hope you enjoyed the videos. Thanks so much for your support. Please, guys, if you would subscribe to us, hit the little ding ding to get notifications. And remember, just hit that like button, hit the thumbs up, because if you don't, then Flash Gordon is no longer going to save the universe. And Ming the Merciless is just going to take over everything. He's going to destroy the earth, and it's not going to be good. So we want Flash to save the universe. And so if you want Flash Gordon to save the universe, like this video. Yeah!